running? Are we filming? Are we filming your hands?
No, we've got back of my head and
film those
face.
fingers. Are we on that one?
Yeah.
Hello, the world. Welcome to the Mouth of Manliness. Hello, the world.
Hi.
Brad is playing us some blues. Don't stop, don't stop. I like it when you play. You play really nice.
Thank you. It's
Yeah,
only
you do
really
play nice.
like in this later stage of my life that I feel comfortable playing like this.
Right, well, I'm going to set the hour on that. Because... Why is that?
Because
it's weird though, isn't it? Because I feel the same.
I think like I was hidden in my bedroom for so long. And then life kicks in, work kicks in. And I've always had like guitars out and about, and I'm really lucky. Kate lets me have guitars on the wall and stuff.
Yeah, I do.
And there's been times when they've been like up in the loft, and I haven't played for ages, and my mood goes really low, and I get really pissed off. And she's aware of that, so she kind of lets me have them out and about, and she likes the kids to be able to just grab them and play with them and stuff like that, which is awesome.
Yeah, you have to make them not too special, don't you?
Yeah.
Like, respect them.
Yeah.
But you can play them, you can bash them a little bit.
My dad's one was always up on the wall, and I used to wait for him to go out, push the dining room table up to the wall. It was really slippery. I remember I used to fall off of it. And I used to be able to play a song without picking it up.
That's really similar to Keith Richards' introduction to guitar.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think it was his dad. I think his granddad had a guitar up on the wall, and like one day he came in and found him. Like he was fascinated by it, and he piled up loads of books and was standing there strumming it. And he was like, "All right." Like he'd always said, when you're tall enough to pick it up, you can play it.
Amazing.
And then he said, "All right, you can play it." So he taught him. I think it's Meadow-in. Which is kind of like a flamenco guitar thing.
Yeah,
it's all on YouTube. With it's guitar. No, is it guitar?
There's one on Netflix, isn't there? That
yeah, no, this is on YouTube with Matt Sweeney. It's really really good. I recommend it. And Matt Sweeney does loads of good ones. He does one with Josh Homme, which is really good.
Amazing, I love Josh.
Yeah, I do. But then you felt so you felt when you were a bit older, you felt a bit more comfortable. That you didn't feel like you needed to impress anyone, maybe?
No, probably that. I think I only know like the beginning of like lots of songs, and then I was in a wedding band when I was a kid. I used to play keyboards, and we used to.
I think that's pretty amazing.
But then, when I moved back in with my mum, and then, it was when I was first with Kate, and I was like, I really want to be in a band. I'd love to do something, and I could play. Creedence Clearwater Revival, Bad Moon Rising, and I knew the words to it. And for some reason, I was on Facebook or online or whatever, and I see this thing about Creedence Clearwater Revival tribute band, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to fucking just do it. And it was on the same day that Kobe, our nephew, had signed for Southend, and the audition was in a studio just near Roots Hall. I think it might have been Big Noise or something.
Yeah, I think I know that one,
sure. And yeah, I did it. I played that, and they were like, "Yeah, you're in the band." I was like, "Fucking hell, that's amazing!" So then I had to learn all of the Creedence Clearwater Revival songs, which I now know there's approximately like 300 of them.
Oh, yeah.
And the trouble is, like, every time we rehearsed, we found more and more and more. We'd get so excited about learning these new songs that I think we nailed maybe 10. They're actually all on YouTube. They're on my YouTube. We filmed every single rehearsal.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're all on there.
It's funny. So my daughter did a local theatre, Thameside Theatre today. She did like an audition for Sound of Music, and I was just blown away by her balls.
Yeah,
because you know that like I've like gone and played with bands a number of times, and like knowing that if you don't play well, you ain't in the band.
Yeah,
and like I've never not got in.
Nah.
But like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. All I've done is make it up. But I know that it requires, to do that, it requires fucking massive bollocks.
Yeah.
And a lot of confidence. And I really respected it because it was kind of like, they get up, there's 5 people and you're a number and all of that.
Yeah.
And she was saying, you know, other people, they're going, what have you been in before? And they're like, Aladdin and da-da-da-da-da-da, and I'm working, and I go to this dance school, and my daughter doesn't do any of that. She's just got like she's got a really nice kind of Billie Holiday
Oh,
style voice.
amazing. I love Billie Holiday.
And she sings in her own way, which I'm like,
Yeah.
that's a bit special, man.
Yeah.
You need to carry on with that.
Yeah.
But that's funny, yeah. So you, so once the guitars were out and you felt a bit more relaxed to play.
Well, weirdly, I always felt the constraints of other people's songs and the pressure to learn them exactly right.
Yeah.
Difficult. And then I got that, is it the DD7 pedal, the Boss pedal, which is, it's got like analog.
The delay.
Yeah, delay. It's got like a hold mode, so it's like a loop pedal. It does loads of things. My mum is amazing, and she likes buying things like that for me for Christmas because she knows I'll look after it and I'll keep it pretty much forever. She bought me my Digitech, the Whammy. She bought me that. She just bought me the Benz, the Fender one as well.
Yeah, that's nice.
It's lovely. It's really nice.
You should bring that around here, actually. I wouldn't mind having a go on that.
Well, yeah, I've got my boards all made up now. It's kind of my ultimate board, yeah. And I can bring it round. And it's only really since Christmas, that literally the noises that makes, like, that's where I need to be, is just making those noises and not like I don't want it to be. I don't want it to be. So I don't want to have to remember it. I don't want to.
So that's what I do. That is all I do.
Yeah, and that's why I love like you're playing. That's why the other day when you're like, oh no, I'm not going to play guitar and that, like, really pissed me off because I love all the noises you make and stuff like that. How freeing it is.
Like, I can't play. You know, you were saying about when you're trying to play other people's songs and it's really frustrating. And I just decided, like, pretty much like when I started playing guitar, that I'm not fucking interested.
No, I like the challenge of working it out and learning, but it's when the chords get super complicated.
Yeah, it was always too hard for me,
and then I stop
really
enjoying
lazy.
it. And then I like to get the riff, and if I can learn the bit that drew me to the song in the first place, or I can learn enough chords for me to sing along to it, then I'm happy.
It was funny the other day, like me and Jude playing in the bath. They weren't in the bath, but they were playing boats or something, and they insisted on me being there. But it was quite clear that I wasn't adding anything to the game because Jude's quite specific about how games should be played. That's autism for you.
Yeah.
And my daughter's favourite song is Wonderful.
Amazing.
And I have introduced her to Oasis, and I do like Oasis a lot.
Me too.
And then I thought, while they're doing that, I've got like this really nice Gibson jazz guitar. It's a really beautiful guitar. I never fucking play it. And like, they were up there, and I had it hanging in my stairwell, so I got it down, and I started playing it, and I was like, oh, is that Wonderwall? And then I just looked it up, the chords, and I was like, Mia, I can play Wonderwall. Come, let's have a sing. And we had a sing together, and it was really, really lovely.
Yeah, I can only play like the first couple of chords. It's one song that I never played all the way through.
It's just it's using those bottom fingers.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, but it's like I have songs that sometimes there's songs that I hear like on the radio, and I'm like, I have to learn it. I want to be able to sing like that. There's loads of like Sam Smith. Khalid, like at the moment, some like amazing voices, yeah. I sing in the car.
Kelly's
not Khalees. Khalid, his name is from America. He did American Dream and Saved. I'll play you that song.
Like, who's the guy at Reading this year? Sam Capaldi. Is it Joe Capaldi?
Oh, Lewis Capaldi.
Lewis Capaldi.
Yeah.
Like, he's got an amazing voice.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And like, he doesn't look like his voice, and I really love that about him.
I like how much he has a laugh and joke offline as well.
He looks like Yoda.
Yeah.
But his voice, all that matters is his voice.
Yeah.
It's like, fucking, it's really refreshing.
Yeah, that is. And people like Ed Sheeran and that as well.
Yeah.
They're like cheerleaders for that. But yeah, I would sort of hear stuff and I want to learn the words to it. And I find myself like, that'll be my project. So I'll listen to the song over and over and over and over again until I learn it. There's a song by, I always get his name wrong. I think it's Lewis Taylor or Ian Watson. It's recommended by Ricky from The Milk. and
He's got an amazing voice.
who Ricky, yeah. So I went to school with him.
Did you?
Yeah, I went to school with all of them. Yeah.
He's got a fucking amazing voice. He's got
but
a
yeah,
bit
this,
of Springsteen about him
and
as well.
yeah, I could tell that this is a song that he must love singing.
He's got a proper soul voice.
As soon as you start singing it, you kind of like almost sound like you want to kind of sound like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I set out to learn it on guitar, and it's really fucking hard. Like I got through a little bit of it, but I lost like most of the chord. Now I wouldn't even know where to kind of start with it, and that pisses me off a bit.
See, I don't. I just avoid the pissed off and just go. I always, whenever I pick up the guitar, I'm trying to write a song.
Yeah.
Basically, or I'm thinking about where it would fit in a song.
Yeah.
So like, I'm trying to write a riff. I think, that could be the main bit, and so where's the chorus going to go, and like, what riff would I do if I did a chorus? And then when you play in a band, like Jim will do something, and I'll go, I could.
See, that's the thing. It's band experience.
I could put that in there.
For me,
and then I could go, that chorus would work.
All my music I've made on the laptop.
Yeah,
so
I've never done that.
I've scaled it. Everything else is done. I've done all the drums and everything else, and then the guitar I'll pick up afterwards, and it'll just be like a little lick that I'll do, or maybe like 2 or 3 chords.
So I tell you what I was thinking the other day, was I've been listening to a couple of our episodes. I don't listen to them all the time because I kind of don't need to hear it because I've said it. And like sometimes just I want to hear myself say it again.
Yeah.
My wife listens to it and she kind of fills me in on things, and that works. But I do listen to it. And then the other day I was listening. It was this week. I was walking to the car park, and I listened to it. And then I listened to our the tune you did. And I just think it's really like that.
Oh, yeah.
And I just think it's really fucking good. And it was funny because when I first heard it, I just instantly went, I don't like it, but it works.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I don't like it. There's loads of things I don't like about it, but it works. And I was like, it's not me, is it? It's not fucking me. It's not weird enough. It's not me. But then I was constantly coming back to the idea that it just fucking works.
Well, it's set out
and
as...
that now, but like, I've totally gone beyond that now. When I'm like, how the fuck did he do that?
Well, the thing is, like, it come about because the idea was that we were going to do something together, and I wanted us to book studio time where we could do it together. But I now know what we would have done is fucked about, and then the hour would have gone.
Just got lost in Liffey
and so
we do occasionally in the room.
Yeah, which I love. It's brilliant.
It is nice.
But I just wanted to have something down. So if we did go and do that, we'd have something to play along. And you went, well, just do something and don't fuck around with it too much. So I did the drums. I had the drums set up because I wanted like a good solid live rock drum anyway. And I've got that Native Instruments machine, like a drum machine. And so I played all that.
I know the machine.
Yeah. So I played all the drums.
Good bit, yeah.
And I had that. And then I found like a little lick on the guitar and put that in. And you said, like, don't clean it up or anything. So I was like, I've got my bass. I played the bass as well in.
Oh, see, this is what I wanted to know.
Yeah, I played the bass in. And then...
Did you do the wah-wah with the wah-wah?
So not with the wah pedal,
because you used like the cocked wah sound.
Yeah, I was...
Because it's slower.
Yeah.
Like the wah is slower.
I was scared to use my wah. I've got a Vox wah.
Yeah, I've got a Vox wah.
Because
have you
I was
got a
worried...
chrome one or a black one?
Black one.
Cheap one.
I was... Yeah. Yeah.
I pay the extra 15 quid and get the silver one.
I didn't know. The only reason I ended up with mine was because I told the guy in PMT that I was going to be in a Creedence Clearwater Revival band. I've got X amount of money. And he gave me a Boss Overdrive and a Vox pedal. And he said, play around with MCA, get on. Mate, I cried when I put it on. I was
Overdrives tend to be the best.
The sound, so good.
Overdrives are normally the best.
But then I had all that down. And then we had the weird noises we made in here. Originally, we were just going to use them, weren't we? And I had intended to have them a lot louder and a lot more prominent through it.
I kind of like it that they're just at the end, though.
Yeah, but I kind of... They were going to be the main part of all of it. But again, what you hear is just parts. And it was the case... The idea was that I was going to show you and we were going to change stuff and everything else. And then for some reason, I put fucking trumpets in. I don't know why. I love trumpets.
Yeah,
I really
I
like
don't.
Mark
and it always sounds a bit scar to me. Like, we've got Ollie on in. like a few weeks,
Yeah.
and he's a Scar man, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to say, I can't be doing with Scar.
Oh, no, that's not going to be awkward.
But like, I'm
I
like,
love it. I really do.
but like, it really works. It really, really works. I think you did an amazing job.
Yeah.
But in fairness, Brad, you do an amazing job at most things. Like, I've not seen you do a shit job at anything.
Oh, you should
Particularly.
come to work with me, mate. I
Shut
fucking all the time.
up.
But it's because like I want it to be good, and I know it can be good, and I know, like, in my head, I've produced television programs and rock concerts and stuff like that since I was, for as long as I can remember. And my dad was always one for like pulling stuff apart and working out how it worked and stuff like that. And I'd watch TV and think, oh right, the camera's there, doing this, that
I used to do
microphone's
that
up.
with films.
Yeah, constantly. And I've just always done that. And then so when it comes to actually doing it, like I was lucky when I was a kid, when my mum and dad split up, we moved down to Bournemouth, and we volunteered in the Regent Centre in Christchurch, which is like a theatre, cinema in the evenings, theatre and stuff like
I
that.
didn't know any of this.
And we were kids. So our weekends, Dad would come and pick us up on like Friday after school,
Pick you up from where?
Basildon, drive down to Bournemouth,
So
Christchurch.
your dad lived in Bournemouth, your
Yeah.
mum lived in Basildon.
Yeah, Wickford, yeah. And then, so he'd pick us up after work, and we'd been at school, he'd pick us up Friday night, and basically, we'd have takeaway on a Friday. Saturday morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, we'd be up down the theatre doing a get-in,
Oh,
for whatever.
really?
And we basically lived at the theatre almost. We used to get free dinner at the pub nearby because we were volunteers there. And yeah, I'd meet all these people and I'd do sound and lighting for people. I've met like Chris Packham, China Crisis, Paul Daniels. I did sound and lighting because it was a Sunday and it was only me and this other guy there for the original Glenn Miller Orchestra. There's only like 3 of them left.
Oh, really?
But yeah, it's quite funny because
So, like, how old were you then?
I was trying to work this out because I had to write it on a CV for a job that I didn't get the other day. But it's between like the ages of 10 and 15, 16.
So quite a long time.
Yeah, a
you've
long
been.
time, yeah. I had like friends there. Yeah, it's like the best time ever. And like, I had my little belt with my spanner on and stuff like that. And
Oh, that's so
Sundays,
cool.
like sometimes, like because I had a grand piano there, I'd just go down with my mate Martin. We'd have a couple of beers out the bar. There'd be no one else there, and I'd just play piano like all through the night. It's fucking great. And cinema, like obviously we watch all the latest films when they come in. It was still on reel when I first went
So
there.
it was a cinema as well.
Yeah, it was like one of those places. It's sort of Art Deco, so it was a
I love the old Art Deco
original
building.
cinema, and then it was a bingo hall, and then they were going to knock it down, and then someone got hold of it, and they were like, "No, we're going to redo it," and it's a theatre, and then the cinema, like we used to have to fit the speakers because they were on the stage, and then bring the screen down, and then we had like 5.1 surround that was separate from the main desk.
So you like volunteered there for like
Yeah.
5 years.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
It's so good.
So is that how you got into? That was your introduction to doing like music and production.
Yeah, I think so. Like I'd always done bits at school, because Dad had keyboards, and I remember like this guy come into school, and he had like loads of MIDI drums set up to keyboards, and he was like playing the drums, and it was playing chords from the keyboards. I run home and told my dad, and I was like, he's controlling like things with other things. Like, how is he doing that? And Dad's like, that's MIDI.
Yeah.
He said, like, it's hard as fuck, but let's work it out. And I was like, all right, we'll give it a go. And we were sitting there like programming everything. I think we managed to get we could start and stop from my drum machine to his keyboard, but that blew my fucking mind. I was like, well, this is it. Like,
MIDI just syncs everything up, and
Yeah.
now you just get most machines have a sync.
yeah, it's like a time clock.
Yeah, I do it with like John,
Yeah,
and I just go. He keeps trying to get me like if I bring something that's got a MIDI out, he's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, let's fuck around with MIDI." I'm like, "Nah."
yeah, because the Digitech, the Whammy's got a MIDI out,
Yeah.
and I've wondered like whether, because Jack White uses it.
You know,
I
if you
wondered-
use it like at the end of the chain, you can MIDI out everything,
yeah,
and then you can sync it. I don't like doing that though.
no.
It's not live, is it?
No.
I want to be playing in the moment
Yeah.
at that point.
I suppose it like if it keeps reverb in time and stuff like that, then it can be helpful. But like for me, it was just the thought of being able to do 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 things at once,
Yeah.
and then to start making records and stuff. So then I basically got any bit of electrical kit I could and put it in our spare room and started to make a studio. And I had a keyboard stand because my dad had a keyboard stand, so I had one keyboard higher than the other, so it was like double keyboards up, and none of it really worked. And
What
sometimes
were
I'd
they like? Good keyboards or were they
like a Yamaha out of
Argos?
Argos sort of thing. I mean, dad's one was all right, mine was not as good, but yeah, I like find little beats on them and try and sort of put them together and stuff like that. But nothing was kind of connected in that. It's all, to be fair, pretty pretend, but for me, it was a chance to still be playing and keep playing all the time.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, just went from there, really. Like at school, they had like a really good music department. It was good before I got there. And then it slowly sort of declined. People had picked out all the sound insulation from the walls and that, but they had a drum kit in one room, had a little recording studio, but no one knew how to use it. And I would just like find myself just in there, just messing around and pulling stuff apart and trying to get stuff working and stuff like that. And anytime I could, I'd just go in and play the drums and just like people would be playing football at lunch, I'd just be in there fucking.
You play drums as well?
Yeah. Not very well, but yeah, and then
Have you got a kit?
no, I've got bits in the loft, bits, and I haven't got a full kit. No, I wish I did have. And do you know what? When I'm
I
like,
keep thinking I'd like you to play drums.
yeah, I'd love Buddy to play drums.
Just because there's a uniformity to drumming,
Yeah,
and there's like you can make sense of it, and it doesn't need to be. It is expressive, of course, but
yeah,
like like within rhythms.
yeah. The
it's like,
expression
well,
is the
what
volume
happens.
or the
Yeah.
hardness or whatever. You can be
Like
hit
easier than
really
the
hard but
guitar.
still slow. Yeah, to a degree. But when I'm stressed, the first thing I think about is going and finding a drum kit and smashing the shit out of it. And it frustrates me that I can't. And it's probably good that I can't, because that'd be a really expensive way of getting rid of my stress.
Well, we could. I'll tell you what. One day we could go to the studio, and like all you really need is snare and cymbals, which is probably what you haven't got, isn't it?
No,
You've
yeah,
probably
I've
got
like the odd
couple of
stick.
bass tones.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how do you? It's funny because we completely bypass what we were probably working.
Yeah,
to talk
gone on
about.
a right tangent, haven't we? But
And actually, I kind of quite like the tangent, to be honest.
it's all right. Like I got into like dance music. I think I've covered that before, purely because I could work out how to use the laptop, and yeah, it just went from there. I found like it was all too digital, and I went back, like a lot of people, to working out ways of being able to still use my hands and my fingers, but then put it down on a laptop and I can edit it afterwards and stuff like that, which is what I've been doing ever since.
So what does like when you see someone like Liam Howlett from The Prodigy, and I always figure he's got like like everything's pads now, isn't it?
Yeah,
So like a pad's a trigger.
yeah,
So everything is probably pretty much like, right, this song, computer, this song,
yeah.
which then makes that pad do that, so then he can do it live.
Yeah, you'll probably find they're still pressing play behind the scenes, but it's the same as if it's recorded in the studio, but a lot of tracks are muted out, and you can kind of play along with it. But yeah, that pad is then whatever instrument is selected on that channel, kind of thing. Otherwise, you'd have to go through every pad and change the setting, the sound of everything, kind of thing. So that's where like MIDI, well, it's kind of like MIDI over USB and Firewire now. That's where it is good, because it's kind of like you're still getting that live feel, but you're still hearing the song as you would have heard it on the radio, kind of thing as well. So it's kind of like
me and John
everything.
fuck around with that for hours one Sunday a month.
Amazing.
And I'm like, it's like, right, I've unwired everything. We're going to use the other mixer today. I'm like, you've unwired everything. So basically, you're going to fuck around for an hour.
Yeah.
I'm going into your mixer, so you'll just turn me down.
Yeah.
And I'll just be playing like an unplugged in guitar, and I'll get really bored. Very, very boring, really. But I don't
It's
mind
all
them
creative,
because
like
we kind of move along.
I see it all as part of the creative process, and I think nowadays,
Creative.
like I can do the same as what I do on my laptop within reason, on iPad and on my phone. Like the amount of times I sit on the train, I just make beats and songs on my phone and then get back to the laptop, and it's not far off what I come up with on the phone. Like, it's incredible what we can do with technology. There's almost like no excuse. Like everyone can give it a go. And
No, it's true, and like you kind of see like the big guitar companies trying to kind of release products that are still guitar-y,
yeah,
but using the new technology.
yeah. I've got like the iRig and stuff like that. It's got
Yeah,
like
I've
all
got
the
iRig.
Marshall synthesizer, like all the Marshall
Yeah, the
synthesizer amps and
iRig's
stuff.
alright. Actually,
Yeah, I like for sitting there
I
with your
don't
headphones.
like the guitar sounds on like GarageBand, particularly.
Some of them are alright. If you mess around with the pedals,
They just have loads of fucking gate on them.
yeah,
Like to try and take the squeals out. And I'm
yeah.
like,
They
"Oh,
try and
it
keep it a
feels
little
like
bit
I want."
too clean, but the trouble is they have to adhere to European hearing regulations and stuff like that. That's why, like, if you've got an old iPad, an old iPhone, and listen to songs, it's really loud. But a new phone, like the volume's a lot lower. It's because of the European standards on hearing. So it goes into their products as well. Whereas Logic, which is basically an expanded version of GarageBand, you can turn everything right up, kind of thing. GarageBand's a little bit more kind of PC.
McCabe was trying to teach us how to use Logic.
Oh, cool.
He reckons Logic's really good.
That's what we use to record our podcast on, mate.
Apart from if you're going synth heavy,
Yeah.
is it Ableton?
Yeah. Ableton Live. Pro Tools is like the ultimate one, really. But I like Logic. It's what I've always used, really. So
Yeah. Oh, McCabe was going right into Logic and go, right, you could do this, you could do that. And me and John would just go, we can't do what you're doing. Like, so we're just going to switch off.
that's a nice thing. Like potentially now with the interface that we're recording this podcast on, like I could make a whole album in this room. If we locked us in here
Yeah,
for a
I
couple
really
of
want
days.
to record, do a few songs and like make videos for them, and then
We are
like,
gonna
kind
do
of
that.
put them out for fun.
Yeah, because
I know it requires time.
that's the trouble, is having the time to do it all. And that's I'm kind of tortured because I'm lucky because the time that I haven't got is because I'm unlucky because I'm mostly at work. But the other time, obviously, I'm with my kids and my family, which I love. It's just a shame that anything like this does kind of encroach on their time and not on work time. But as you know, I'm trying to sort of switch that up and change it
Yeah,
up.
it's weird because nowadays I've got much more time, and I get frustrated because I'm like I could be doing things, but like I don't know how to do them.
Yeah.
So it's like the kind of reverse for me. Yeah, it's very difficult.
What? Because the kids are older, you're
Yeah,
kind of settled
so it's
in
just a
work.
bit easier. But then I'm like, oh, I don't know how to do it. Because I'd almost like, I'd do editing and I'd do things like that and get the films to Boston. But I'm like, I don't know how to.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating as
It
hell.
is a bit of a ball ache, but it's good because it's what we're doing, and that's why I like it.
Well, it is all good. I do feel like we have feels like something bigger than us.
Yeah, it does.
And that feels good.
And we've had a
doesn't it?
nice response.
Yeah. So, whoa. So I just felt like saying hello to Boston again.
Yeah.
So our last episode, we had my friend Darren Garwood on, and it was really, really inspirational, but really, really kind of like heart-wrenching
Yeah.
and difficult. Like he wasn't difficult; he was absolutely
He's lovely, isn't he?
And
He's
you know,
lovely.
like when he got here, and you went, "Oh, he's nervous,"
Yeah.
and I do think he was a bit nervous.
Yeah.
But Darren's always come across as a bit nervous,
Right.
and it's just because I know him so
Yeah, of
well.
course.
But he kind of told us a story of his life with his kid and how painful and difficult that is, and it just makes you really put things into perspective.
Totally.
And I think is when I hear things like that, I feel really humbled, but I also kind of think like I feel really lucky to be able to hear it.
Yeah.
And I also think if I was lucky enough to hear it, I should be good enough to get something from it.
Yeah. I got loads from it.
So, you know, like you just think, no, that's true, my life's better. And as much as I do believe that all of our problems are relative, but when you hear someone who's going through much, much bigger problems and really, really awful things, like I just think I can't sit there and hear it and not kind of take action on it.
Yeah.
Like it would be disrespectful for me to hear someone be so honest and then go, oh yeah, you know, oh poor me.
Yeah, that's a nice story. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Yeah,
like,
you know, I'm having a hard time as well.
I'm pumped by it. I'm inspired.
It just makes you think, oh fuck it, man.
Yeah.
Like, if he can raise above that, I can raise above whatever the fuck I'm doing.
Totally that.
And it does. It lifts you up. And Darren was really positive, wasn't he? He was amazingly positive.
Even things like when the kids are naughty and stuff, and you think, oh, you're this and you're that, and you think like, I'm privileged to the fact that Buddy has just jumped off the settee or whatever, and like we were saying, the smiles and stuff you take for granted.
Yeah.
It's just like it shifts your perspective so much. It's incredible, it really is.
I know, and for me, like, I just feel like through the podcast, it'd be really nice to be able to give people something.
Yeah.
So, all right, sometimes we are sitting here and we're moaning about our fucking lives and our own shit.
Yeah.
But even if we're doing that, the idea is that other people might hear it and go, well, yeah, I have that as well. And they're still like being productive. I can be productive. I can do something.
Yeah.
And it's really frustrating. I was talking to my mate Mark at work, and he was saying one of his friends has been struggling with anxiety for years, and he's always goes to talk to him, and he won't, like, so many people have turned their back on him now because it's just frustrating, and that's understandable. And he's really frustrated, but he tends to like leave the room and feel awful about it.
Wow.
And I'm like, kind of what I was saying to Darren is that you don't need to feel bad about that.
No.
You've done something. You've made an effort. That person essentially is going to have to do it for themselves. But at least you've given it a go, you know?
Yeah.
And you don't need to walk away with all of that, walk away with the emotions as well.
No.
You know, like, you're doing a good thing. You've made an effort.
It ain't even got to be like a big thing. Like on the tubes now, more and more, I've noticed people get on and they stand in the middle and they say, oh, really sorry to disturb you. Going through a tough time at the moment. I'm currently homeless. I'm looking for some money just so I can get something to eat later on and possibly find somewhere to stay. And that's happened like on most of my journeys this week. And no one looks at them when they're talking. They all look down, they all look at their phones, or they all look up at the carriage. And each time I've made an effort to look at them in the eyes. I'm not saying I'm any kind of hero, because I was aware that there was a couple of times when I thought, maybe I should like not say anything. I haven't got any change, so I'm worried about what to say. And I was like, I'm just going to say, I'm really sorry, I haven't got any change.
Yeah,
like, stay safe or whatever.
But just acknowledge that they're
the woman was like, she like, Mouth, thank you. And like, I was probably like one of only like 40 people who just give her like, it was a bit of eye contact and a smile. And that's all, like, that was enough for her. I know obviously it wasn't, but like, it was more than those other 50 odd people had done.
Yeah, you just don't need to be a wanker about it.
No.
You just don't need to be a wanker about it. You can just go, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's human decency.
Just be like,
say, stay safe later.
Yeah.
Like,
I haven't got any change, mate.
No. Do you want
a fag?
Yeah, I'll give him some mints.
I've got roll-ups. Do you want a fag?
I'll give someone some mints. And I was like, this is all I've got. Do you want these?
Do you want a mint?
And he was like, yeah, totally. I'll give him the whole pack. It's like, you know, it's nothing. Like,
it's funny because like I always have mints on me.
Yeah, I do.
And like quite often, like I'll get in a cab and I'll like get an Uber or something, and I'll be on my own. And then I'm sitting doing nothing, so I want a mint. I'm like, do you want a mint, mate? And I just think, Do I look like a cunt just saying, do you want a mint? And I think, no, bollocks.
No.
But like, you can overthink everything.
Yeah, totally.
You know what I was saying
It's just
about like,
common human decency.
you start thinking, oh, they'll think this and they'll do that, so I just won't do anything.
Yeah.
All right, just don't overthink it. You know, you were saying about like doing like the theme tune, and I was going, just don't overthink it.
No, I've got a tendency to overthink
Just
stuff.
do it. Like when we did the Mouth of Manliness bit, I think I just went, right, we were talking about it, and I was like, do it.
Yeah, I was all nervous and weird.
It's like, no, let's just do it.
Mm.
Just fucking do it. Stop thinking, start doing. So I don't know.
Do you reckon people notice that I say cunts in at the end of that?
No, I don't think they do.
I quite like that I left it in there.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, if you watch the video at the beginning of this, I shouldn't say it because Boston will be like, oh, you got to take that out.
No, they never say. They never tell us to do anything.
No, but you can't hear it. But we go, this is the Mouth of Manliness podcast. And I'm like, you can't.
I think you spend too much time with hardcore listening.
Yeah, probably.
Although they don't swear that much, do they?
It's because I'm not there. That's the longest silence we've had.
It is. It is.
We were talking to Darren about your band and you playing the other week. Do you still play with them regularly?
Yeah, no, we still rehearse. Well, at least once a month. I'm seeing Jim on Friday. I still see Jim quite a bit.
I love Jim.
Oh yeah, Jim's been really supportive actually. It's quite funny because I remember like when I had a bit of a meltdown, I put a post on about mental health, and I think Jim was just frustrated about everything, and he didn't put a very nice post back. But actually, he's been really lovely most of the time.
Yeah. People have good and bad days, don't they?
Yeah, they do. It's funny. So I've been in touch with a hair clinic.
Oh yeah, what's that?
So the other day, I announced on Facebook that like to think twice about Propecia.
This is after like 10 weeks of convincing even me
to
say, right, take this stuff.
No, it's so
it makes
true.
Your hair look
I
the
just felt really bad about it because I thought, I found out, it's not the answer. And so I rang up at Harley Street hair clinic thing, and basically they were like, yeah, Propecia's really fucking good, isn't it? I was like, yeah, it is, but I can't have it anymore because I'm a depressive cunt and it's making me worse, which I do believe. So I do feel it's funny because I've got this real massive feeling of positivity now that I can beat depression a bit.
That's so cool.
So I kind of feel a bit reborn, and I've had a really good week as a result of it. And then so I sent them pictures of my baldness, and they went, "Oh, you're not bald enough, like for a hair transplant."
Brilliant.
So what I'm going to have now is what they do. They take blood out of your arm, and then they spin it in machines, and it separates the blood from like the platelets and the plasma.
Yeah.
And then they separate it again, and they get just the stuff that makes your hair better, and then inject it into your head. And it's 400 quid.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm a bit. I mean, you have to get it done twice a year. And I was looking online about it, and women, a lot of women get it done to sort out their complexions. And Kim Kardashian had it done when her face was covered in blood.
Kim Jong-un, or whatever his name is.
So then I was like, oh, fuck. I'm having something really fashionable done. But it's weird because it's like, they're like, oh yeah, get it done. It's really good. And then at the same time, you look into it and it's like, it's really new.
Yeah.
Like, is it going to work or not? But I'm going to do it. Fuck it. I'm going to do it.
I don't know, like, obviously the process isn't natural, but like the fact that you're putting something from yourself inside yourself again, like, I think that seems all right. I think that sounds a lot better than like a lot of other things.
Yeah, well, I just figure, fuck it, I'm going to do it.
Where are you worried about anyway? Because you're not actually bald.
No, I know, but no, I have really thin hair. If I hadn't had tablets, my hair would be really thin.
Oh, what is it like? More like receding.
So I've got like a circle.
Oh yeah, I got that. Yeah.
So if my hair's really thin, that circle's like it looks really thin. And basically they were saying, oh yeah, this will sort out thinness. It's fine.
Wow.
So I'm like, yeah, I'll fucking do that then.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
That sounds all right.
Yeah.
Better than that thing you were saying about where they like get hair like from wherever and they plug
from the
it
back
in.
of your head, and then they put it on your front of your head.
Yeah.
But it's permanent, so I was like, oh, that would be more like that would be a bit harsh,
It sounds fucking gruesome.
and it'd be hard work and gruesome. But at least it's just once.
Yeah, I guess so.
Like having loads of injections in your head. Yeah, I'm not all out for loads of injections in my head.
Or just don't do anything at all.
No, I'm not going to do nothing at all. Take action on everything, brothers.
Yeah, I guess so.
Always.
Yeah.
Because basically, if you sit back on it, I'll feel fucking miserable about it, and then I'll get miserable again.
Yeah.
And at the moment, I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah, it's true.
Feeling pretty fucking chipper.
You look chipper, mate.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good at the moment.
That's good.
I have. I've been singing songs to myself and everything.
I've started doing that again. It's magic, isn't it?
You're getting better.
Yeah.
You are. You said today you felt better than you had for a while.
Yeah. So it's 2 weeks today since I
That's about right.
tried to kill loads of people on a
It
train.
takes a couple of weeks for pills to really work.
And tomorrow I've got the appointment with the doctors to see how I'm getting on with it. Tomorrow morning, first thing.
And you're thinking about saying, I'll have a bit more of that.
Yeah, I think I'll have a little bit more. I think.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, it's funny. Like, I think I've begun to realise that I've kind of felt this way for a lot longer. Like, I haven't felt good for a long time, longer than I thought. If that makes sense.
I was talking. Like, I work with one other guy, and obviously those are other teenagers. And the one other guy I work with, Mark, I get on really well with. And he was saying that once he started to feel better, he was like, this has been going a lot longer than I realised.
Totally. Since school.
Yeah. And he was exactly the same.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, I can remember things with like my mum and shit like that. And like, so now when he talks about it, I'm like, well, that sounds similar to when you were like, that's an issue, but that sounds really similar to the issue you had with your mum.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm under no illusion that it probably goes back to like mum and dad splitting up and stuff.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
And that's why I'm looking for, like, I've had the counselling confirmed on primary care counselling and everything else. So.
How old were you when they split up?
My brain has kind of got rid of all the facts because it was only when I was trying to work out, like I said, the theatre thing the other day.
Roughly. So
Somewhere
you must have been around 10 or 11.
Yeah, about 9, 10, 11, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember it being that harrowing. We got double holidays, which was nice, and 2 Christmases. So
yeah,
for a
but
kid,
you have
that's
to
a
think
bonus.
about at 10 or 11, like you're hitting puberty. So basically, even if you didn't recognise it, it's amplified.
Yeah.
Just by the bare fact that you're going through so many changes.
I'm under no illusion that it's had a lot. It's had a profound effect on all sorts of things that I'm probably not even aware about, and I'm looking forward to unpicking it. To be honest, because I've processed a lot of it in my own way, and I did a bit of drugs and alcohol counselling at Oasis in Thurrock for a little while. Not Oasis. Mind. No, it was Oasis.
Yeah, Oasis used to be the adult. So they had that in Southend as well, and Essex. Like the adult, like where you went if you had drug problems.
But I had like some amazing breakthroughs in just the short, was it 6 sessions or whatever it is? I think it is CBT.
Yeah.
6 or 12?
I
6.
think it's just CBT. CBT is very much is solution focused. Very much on right. Okay, so that's a problem. We do this and this and this.
Well, it was a resolution to drinks and alcohol, but I kind of tricked them and told them I was drinking and smoking a lot more than I was because I knew I wanted to talk about all of this other stuff and I couldn't afford the counselling.
That don't work though normally
No.
because they'll say, right, you're not ready for counselling.
Yeah.
Because you're off your face too much.
Yeah. But what?
Is that what happened?
No, well, no. I mean, we come to the end of like the 6 kind of sessions, but I had loads of little breakthroughs in that time. Like Laura, her name was, and she was just so cool and chilled out and just let me talk about whatever I wanted to talk about. Obviously, there's no direction. I'm saying this for people who might not have had counselling before. There's no direction. They haven't got all the answers. You've got all the answers.
Some counselling, they won't direct you at all.
No, you literally just talk, and that's important.
I always find that a bit weird. I want a little bit.
It's, yeah.
Like you said this last week.
Just to refer back.
Let's talk about that kind of thing.
But sometimes just having the space for an hour to talk, when sometimes you don't always get an opportunity, is just as important and can be as.
So what kind of things did you talk about? Did you talk about?
I had some amazing breakthroughs, like the always wanting to impress people and do the right thing and stuff like that. And it come back to.
Was that your mum?
Yeah, it come back and it's like I think it was to do with. I don't know whether I was trying to get signed at the time. I was trying to do something at the time. And I was like, I just want to do this and that. And like, I want my mum to be there and I want to do this or whatever. And it wasn't there was something going on. And she literally turned around and she just went, why are you trying to impress your mum? And my whole world just went, oh, fucking hell. Like,
fucking weird, isn't it?
Yeah. I was like, I don't know. And that sounds harsh. Like, to my mum, if you're listening, like, you know, I love you to bits, and it wasn't anything that you were doing wrong, and it's not like I was trying to impress you for some other reason.
On in your mind.
But it was only when it was like actualized, and someone said, "Oh, you're doing this because this and this because that." I was like, "Oh, fucking hell!" And it was like quite freeing because I was like, I should be doing stuff for myself.
But also, you think if you were doing music and things, like, you probably weren't just trying to impress your mum. You probably
all the music I made.
Your dad as well.
Yeah, all the music.
If your dad had that background, I'm really jealous your dad had a musical background. I'd fucking love that in my life.
Do you know what? It's such a shame. Obviously, he's not with us anymore. And I went to meet his brother, who I'd only met a few times. He only lives in Southwood Ferries. It's like one road away from where I lived.
I went there last week.
It's crazy, but like, we went there and it was just after Dad died, and like obviously he was digging out photos and stuff like that. And I was so nervous. Like, I drunk, like, I don't normally drink Stella, and they just had Stella there. Maybe they thought, oh, Brad's coming from Wickford, like, let's just get him like Chavy Lager or whatever, because they seem a lot more like
one of my favourite
wine drinkers. But I'm not into Stella at all. And yeah, I had like 7 of them, and I can't remember the stories that they were telling me about my dad. It makes me really sad. But Kate can. Like, Kate's got an amazing memory, to my detriment most of the time. And yeah, I kind of remember, I think they were in a band together, him and his brother. And there's like a couple of pictures of them playing together. And there's tapes somewhere of my dad playing with him and his mate, I think it's Steve or Chris or something like that, of them just drunk, like just getting together with a tape machine and just playing and stuff like that. And I remember thinking, that's just the coolest thing ever. Like, I just, if I can just take that.
So you do remember?
Yeah, bits.
You do remember?
Yeah.
I think you don't remember because you think it's going to hurt.
Probably. And that's part of what I'm going to be unpicking and processing.
But you kind of do remember things.
Yeah, I remember bits if I try hard enough.
Yeah, you do remember stuff.
Yeah, I can picture, like, I remember like the colour of the carpet. They had a TV cabinet still, which no one seems to have anymore. I can remember like the lamp. I can remember like my uncle and my auntie. I remember Kate being there. I just don't really remember what we spoke about, which is the most important thing.
No, it's not. The most important thing is how you felt at the time.
Yeah, I guess so. Which disappoints me that I was drunk.
So normally, so our memories work in a way that they hang on to things.
Yeah.
So some of us are visual. I'm visual as shit. So
Yeah.
basically, I have quite a good memory of a lot of things because I can visualize something from the time,
Yeah.
and then that will bring all the memories back.
Yeah.
But my memory's not always good, especially if something's difficult. If something's difficult, my memory's not particularly good. So in a circumstance like that, when it might supposedly be, oh, this is lovely, but actually you've got like kind of unresolved anger about things, then yeah, your memory don't remember it so well because it's trying to expel the horrible memory,
Yeah.
the horrible intonations of the memory,
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and I
which
think
might be the case. Can I just? I'll make a confession to you. I recently was looking at. I looked on your Facebook page,
yeah.
and I looked at some of your older pictures,
Oh yeah, they're great.
just
Isn't
because I was like, oh, what did he look like? Because I'm like, I feel like I know Brad like he's a family member,
it?
but
Yeah.
I actually don't know you as well as maybe I think I do.
No.
And so I was looking through your Facebook stuff,
Yeah.
and my overwhelming feeling was there was two. One of them's lovely, one of them's funny.
Yeah.
So one of them was that I look at pictures. I could see pictures of you and Kate,
Yeah.
and it was clearly before you had children,
Yes.
and you'd done lots of fun things.
We looked young and healthy and carefree.
No, you looked a lot more than that. It really. You both looked really lovely together.
Yeah, thank
and
you.
like you could see there was pictures when you were at a wedding or something, and you could see that you either of you had each other in your eye.
Yeah.
Like it was really, really lovely. And there was moments when you could see her looking really proud to be with you.
Ah,
And so I thought that was really lovely.
that is lovely. That's worn off now, but thank you.
No, but it was really sweet. And she looked really good with short hair.
Yeah, no, right?
Which is really
she doesn't
difficult
believe
to
me.
pull off.
No, she looks amazing.
Really difficult to pull off.
She looks amazing, and she doesn't believe me.
She had that kind of...
Kind of rocky still, but still classy.
No, it was more of a 60s style.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked good.
Yeah.
So yeah, she pulled that off, which is quite rare.
Do you know Jeff Ginsberg?
I know his sister. I went to school with her. I don't know Jeff.
Jeff Ginsberg cut her hair like that.
Oh, really?
He was working for the girl from Hollyoaks. She had a hair salon up in Oxford Street or something. And he'd always have like training days.
It's just basically a pixie cut.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
But with a slightly longer thing. See, I am the most female man.
Yeah. No, but I love hair. Like I always noticed that.
No, I noticed
the second she had that cut, I was in bits. I was
really
like, "You
good.
look fucking amazing." And like those photos of her, like I think we went on holiday somewhere.
Yeah, she does look really nice.
Around that time, we were just taking loads and loads of photos of each other, and yeah, she looks beautiful
still
now.
looks nice now though, because when you put those pictures up of everyone in t-shirts, and I thought she looked nice.
Yeah, she's beautiful, my wife. I'm really lucky, very, very lucky.
Yeah. So and then the other thing that I noticed from looking at the pictures,
my brain's now scrolling through loads of images. I'm not ashamed of any of my Facebook photos.
Was just that you were trying to look in a lot of the pictures. You were desperately trying to look cool.
Oh yeah,
and failing badly.
Yeah,
and it's really funny because and I did exactly the same thing. And then when I look at the pictures that we've done together,
yeah,
I'm like, all the best things about you are not that. It's like, you just look really fucking... I think in the photos that we've done together, I'm like, Brad looks really fucking cool. And it's almost that you're not trying.
I don't feel cool.
No, but you do look pretty cool.
Oh, that's good.
Like the beard looks really nice.
Yeah, but that's
thick,
like pretend.
And like you look kind of like... you just kind of look like I don't give a shit. I am who I am.
I think
and that really comes through.
Yeah, that makes sense. I have stopped giving a shit a lot more, especially in like the hair and beard and stuff like that. I must admit,
No, I just think you look
it's just
cooler for it.
easier.
So maybe you should. It goes back to my biggest bit of advice ever: is stop fucking worrying
Yeah,
and just
you are right.
like stop giving a shit and stop
Because
worrying about the
the
details.
irony is, the photos I thought you were going to talk about were the ones of me in a dress in Ibiza, where Fun Ketamine Brad was around, or the ones with me in a dress on my stag do. There's some really embarrassing ones if you go all the way back. I'm not embarrassed of them. I had a great time, but that was like false confidence, and now it's kind of like I feel like I would do that stuff anyway, but I could seriously do that without having a drink. And it is I do think it comes with age, and once you've had kids and you've got an amazing wife, you haven't really got too much else to prove. I'm not too worried about looking silly
It's
anyway.
quite nice, though, isn't it?
It's liberating.
It
is
is.
liberating. I feel like it's a little gift
Don't you
given
feel like
back.
wouldn't you like to just go back? Like I work with teenagers, and I quite often just tell them like you don't need to worry about it.
100%. If I could just go
Like,
back
you really don't need to fucking worry.
and just say, look, people are always going to say, like, don't worry, there's songs about it. Don't worry,
Someone's
be
always
happy.
going to make you feel bad.
But seriously, just fucking do it, because I still wouldn't have listened, even though I thought I didn't care at the time. I thought I was all carefree and everything. And I remember
No.
I had this job, and I was looking after like two teams that were working together, and I thought I was like carefree and positive and everything else. And then we were chatting away in the tea room or whatever, and someone said, "Oh, well, you're quite negative, aren't you?" And I was like, "No, am I?" And the other bloke was like, "Yeah, you are quite negative." I was like, "Fucking hell, am I?" And it was
You know what though? That was kind of what I was trying to tell you on the text about work.
yeah,
Just like don't once you get into that trap, like you're there.
Yeah.
And then like work is like unavoidable.
and at work,
You have to go to work,
I am.
and it's up to and that goes back to the adage of it's up to you.
Yeah, and
You've got to be there.
it still feels like I have to kind of play that role, and like I am a bit negative at work, but then I kind of have to be, because it's fault finding, and you have to go and have these meetings and everything else, and you kind of have to. I find myself having to play that role, but ironically, the last 2 weeks I've literally walked into the room and said, I don't give a fuck now what's happened. Like, and this week I've been threatened with
And you just go
court
solutions.
cases and stuff like this. I've had probably the worst week this week than I've had the whole time. But I've literally gone, right, that's fair enough. You want to say that, you take that, or fucking put it in an email, or it doesn't mean anything. I've had the confidence to actually start standing up for myself.
Don't care.
It's fucking magic. Like, it is like a superpower. And just strutting around almost like arrogantly, going, yeah, whatever, just fucking say what you want. Because like, I've lost all interest in everything.
But what's really powerful about that is that other people then, when they they won't bother to come to you for an argument.
No.
Because you're like, I don't fucking care.
Yeah, it's got
I
no
find
weight.
that at work, people are like, they don't bother to, like, you know, I might overstep the mark somewhere, but they just don't bother to fucking say anything, because I'm like, well, I know the secret to life.
Yeah.
And the secret to life is not work.
No.
The secret to life is you earn the money to pay the bills.
Yeah.
And you make an effort, but, you know, you try
Yeah.
your hardest, but you just don't get emotionally attached to it in that way. And that's what I was saying. It's like, you have to go to work.
Yeah.
We have to go.
I love
We have
working.
got children.
I do.
And we're not lazy. And it's not like we don't give a fuck.
No.
But you can shift the focus on how much emotion you give it.
Yeah, I've always given everything like a lot of emotion, and even when like we had studios, I've had studios where I've lived in, I've had studios where I've had to go to work in, and like my first lot of what I would consider work, even though 9 times out of 10 I wasn't even being paid for it, but I was still treating it like work. So I'd be at studio for 6:30 in the morning. I'd make everyone else breakfast before they got there. Like, I would literally treat it like a job, even though we were looking back, we were just making silly little records. But for me at the time, this was it. I'm going to put everything I can into this.
It takes the fun out of it, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, but while everyone else was having fun, I was the one pressing record and recording it all. Because if we kept having fun, nothing would have got done.
Yeah.
And I think I've had a whole lifetime of doing that. And now I'm kind of at the stage where it's like even with this, like there's a couple of times on the one that we just recorded, it stopped recording. It's done it twice. It's done it the last few times.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But I can cut it together. I'll make it work, and no one's going to notice. And it doesn't matter.
Yeah, just get it done.
I mean, it matters a little bit more on Darren's one because it was right in the middle of the most heartfelt bit of story that he said in the whole thing. But I'll be able to cut it together. I'll make it work, and it is what it is.
Just get it done.
No one's even going to know.
It's not meant to be a fucking chore, is it? Like in many ways, life isn't meant to be a chore.
I think you get that from podcasting, though. Like this can be as professional or as unprofessional as we want it to be. And we've lucked out 'cause we've got the balance. Like I said the other day, it's kind of a bit sort of punk and a bit junky, but it's still professional because we've got the sound quality and the cameras and stuff like that. So it's the right sort of level. If we were completely sort of punky and fuck it and everything else, it wouldn't have got as far as it has. But if we were too sort of like sit straight, face the camera, let's spend 400 quid on a microphone and get it right and everything else, and just talk about mental health, that wouldn't have worked either. It would have been too far the other way. That's why this is working, because it's a combination of all of that stuff. And I know I need to relax a little bit more, but ultimately it's going to work because of that reason.
But that's probably because that's the influence of us both.
Yeah.
It's me just going, get something out.
Which I need.
And me, and you go, no, I want to do a good job. And,
yeah.
And that's why, like, the filming and all that looks good.
Yeah.
Because if it was me, it would have been one camera.
Yeah.
So it needs,
believe me, I'm tempted to do. It'd be so much easier for me.
But you need the push and pull.
Yeah.
And that's good collaboration, isn't it?
And it sets us a little bit apart from other people who have just got one camera, and I'm totally cool with one camera, believe me.
But it's kind of metaphor for life in many ways. It's the idea that sometimes you need to roll with it, and sometimes you don't, and it depends how much it matters to you.
Don't even I'm lucky I had a lot of this gear already, and I've, like I said, been thinking about all this stuff since I was a kid. But it's not even hard what we're doing, really. We've had to work it out. We've had to make mistakes, and we've had to do things wrong and fuck it up. And
we
things
did have
broke.
a good couple of months of boring it out.
And just getting it worked out and everything else. But ultimately, if you've got something that records, then you can start a podcast. You just need iTunes. You can do it without Acast and all the sponsors. You can just with iTunes, you can get an audio file. You can send it to them. They'll approve it, and then it's just there. It's there. It is as simple as that. And there's a lot more information about it at the moment, and it's getting easier and easier to do. And I think it's great because everyone can have a voice now. And obviously, if you're trying to get numbers and sponsorship and make a living out of it, it does become a little bit harder. It does become a little bit more involved, but it doesn't have to be like that.
I do want to have sponsors.
Totally. But I'm just saying, if people think, I'm not going to do it, no one's going to listen to it. People will listen to it, and it doesn't matter if only one other person listens to it. You've done your job because you've got a podcast online that someone else is listening to. And that might even be your mum. But your mum will tell Karen from accounts, who you don't know, and then Karen from accounts is listening to it. And then all of a sudden a stranger is listening to what you've just said. And then you'll just be rushing. The buzz of
that's kind of what, in fairness, that's kind of what what I get out of it. Is the fact that a stranger has listened to it. I imagine more strangers listen to us than people we know.
How many people do you know in Iran?
None.
Nor do I. And they're our fourth biggest listenership. That's fucked up.
So a stranger listens to it and gets something out of it and listens to it again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's pretty special.
Yeah. Because we're not trying to do anything. We've got no script. I don't know how the hell that hour just come out of us.
I know, I kind of lost it in the early bits, and then it was like, oh no. I just fucking love it. It's brilliant.
It is good. And we hope you love it too.
So, oh, thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And, yeah, that's the end of another hour. We just had a pretty intense 2 hours. And, that's kind of as it should be.
Yeah.
But, yeah, pretty intense.
I'm a big
Pretty
sweaty
good.
mess.
You don't look that way.
Let's
Right,
have a
good
cuddle
night.
then.
Thank you.
Love you, bye.